Welcome back to the Playdate by Freshly Picked. I'm your host, Kaitlin Hansen, and I'm so excited to have you here for another episode of Midweek Mantras. I was really thinking about what I wanted to talk about today for Midweek Mantras, and it just came to me. I would say starting from over the weekend until now, I don't know, maybe I'm feeling hormonal or whatever, but I have struggled so hard to be patient with my kids this week. I felt snappy and just a little bit overstimulated and just feeling like I haven't responded the best way that I could and as patient as I could. Actually, this was yesterday, but I was grocery shopping. My 2.5, well, I don't even know if you can call her 2.5. She turns 3 in April. She is and has been refusing to take a nap, but needs a nap really bad. But she fell asleep on the way to pick up my kindergartner from school. My kindergartner is in an after school cooking class, which is super fun, but she doesn't get home until 5. So we left our house at 4:30 because it's a half-hour drive to go pick her up from school, and she fell asleep on that drive. And then on the way back, I usually try to order my groceries through Walmart Plus just to get delivered because it makes my life so much easier. I don't have to go to the grocery store. It's easier for me to stay on a budget and not impulse buy and grab random unhealthy stuff. So I was looking at trying to do that, but then I missed the times and I really needed a couple things that night for dinner. So I was like, okay, I'll just stop at the grocery store. It'll be fine. So we had to wake up Nora, stopped at the grocery store. Nora's just yelling at me the whole time at the grocery store, being like, where's my milk? Get me my milk. Just, she was grumpy from being woken up, which I'm not always the happiest when I get woken up either. So it wasn't the easiest shopping trip. I'm just like, oh gosh, whatever, let's just make it home and then we'll get dinner. For dinner, it was also kind of like a free for all, if you will. The thing I needed for dinner actually was milk. But for dinner, I've been trying to plan meals and things. I have usually been pretty good about cooking X amount of times a week, but I'm really trying to stay strict about, okay, I want to cook 3 times a week. And we had just some leftovers and things in the fridge. So I was like, okay, for Monday, we're just going to clear out the fridge and do everybody's going to eat leftovers and it's going to be good. So we're putting the groceries away and Nora is just losing it. She is so mad. She's mad that the milk got put away. She's mad that we opened the bag of carrots and dumped them in another Ziploc bag so they could seal. She doesn't want the other thing. She doesn't want a piece of cheese. Oh, she wants a piece of cheese. Oh, she wanted ham. Just everything is setting her off. And then I also let Liv and Nora pick out a sugary cereal for dessert. And I wouldn't let Liv eat that for breakfast or for dinner until she'd had something with protein and some vegetables because she picked Lucky Charms. And then she's having a meltdown. Both girls are just melting, just feeling so many emotions. And I'm just oh my gosh, I cannot. And just whining about everything. Orange juice is gone. And then Liv thought Nora rubbed it in that she didn't get orange juice. Liv stomps up to her room. Nora cries because Liv leaves. Just everything. And I couldn't help but just laugh. I did get mad and was just you guys have got to stop. I wasn't the most patient. There was a better way that I could have responded to things, but I couldn't help but just laugh because everything was just a problem. We could be hey, do you want candy? And they probably would both start crying because they just were feeling so many emotions. And when that happens, my go-to response, because my girls love showers, my go-to thing is just okay, let's go get in the shower or let's go get in the bath and just play. So I let him bring whatever toys. We probably had like 15 Barbies in the shower, magnet tiles, and I just turned on both shower heads. They dumped out soap and all the stuff and stayed in the shower for an hour. And when they got out of the shower, they were as happy as can be and just had the best time in the shower. No fights, just like playing. And it just is like a good little reminder that those like challenging times or hard times don't last. Like they're short lived, they don't last. And if there's like a little thing that you can just do to have a reset, even better. So I'm like, while they're in the shower, I usually try to like clean the bathroom and clean up little things, vacuum my room, change sheets, something where I can just like, keep my eye on them. But it was great. I'm like, it was a peaceful hour after so much whining and crying for 2 hours that it was like what my overstimulated mom brain needed. So, just a reminder, like, you got this. It's okay if you're not patient in the moment. It's what you do to remedy the situation after and explain to them and say, "Hey, I'm so sorry. Mama was feeling overwhelmed. I'm going to try harder to do better next time." And all is well. And then we ended the night snuggling. I let them watch, like, my kids love to watch stories on YouTube, and then it has like the words on there, and Liv's trying to learn how to read. So I'm like, boom, reading, great. Let them watch a little story, and then they both fell asleep, and it was great. So, and then I got to have some peaceful TV time, and it ended up being a good night, and I got to, like, wind down. But sometimes it's tricky, and sometimes you don't always get that after a tough night. But I like this little quote, and it says, "To the beautiful mom reading this right now, be gentle with yourself and remember that whatever you do today for your children, it is good enough." And I just think that that's such a great reminder because we really are out there trying to do our best. We've never been moms before. We are learning and growing as we go, and our kids are learning and growing as they go, and they are finding new ways to test boundaries and to test limits and love and learning new things. And a lot of that is out of our control. And it's okay if you don't handle it correctly in the moment. You can try again next time, whether that's a new day and a new hour. Sometimes I like to set time away for myself where if I'm like, okay, I'm feeling overstimulated, I can feel like that. I want to give it like space to feel like that. I'm going to feel like that for 15 minutes. I'm going to go sit in my closet, listen to music, read a book, whatever that might be. And then I'm going to come back with a better attitude. And I really do feel like that works and has been super helpful. Like sometimes you do just need to walk away from the situation as long as your kids are safe. Walk away from the situation and come back with open eyes. Another thing I like to do too is I love TikTok. I have a couple sappy like TikTok videos saved where anytime I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm frustrated or whatever, they're ones that have like made me cry in the past. Like they like say like sweet little messages and have like a song that just makes you weep. I like to watch those too, where I'm like, okay, a lot of them is like hug your loved ones tight and all that jazz. And that actually is super grounding too, where I'm like, okay, it's not forever. It's so short lived. Like, so those are a couple tips and tricks that I like to use to help myself calm down, feel a little bit less overwhelmed, less overstimulated, and ready to tackle the next hour. I try to just look at motherhood in stages of hours. So I hope that's helpful, and I hope everybody has a great rest of their week, and we will see you next time. Bye.